So James Harden, what do you think is his motivation level? I mean, because he didn't seem to have any motivation when it comes to the playoffs. Sure, he'll play in the regular season. I mean, he puts forth a concerted effort, but as far as you could see it, what is his motivational? What motivates him to play in the postseason? Because there is no motivation, right?
I don't think there's no motivation. The only motivation for him to get into gear every day is because that check looking good. But other than that, for some reason, it might be nerves. It's just something he probably cannot get over. But the thing is, it sucks if he wants to be the point guard of a team and he doesn't, and he goes into a shell. Like the point guard has the ball majority of the time. So if you have the ball majority of the time, you're leading your pack. You cannot lead us if you go into a shell. We're going to all go to a shell. We're all going to struggle because you have the ball majority of the time. When you don't have the ball, it's because you need a break from the ball or you on the bench. He played big minutes at that also. So, I mean, what he's going to do for you if he's going to go into a shell, but you need him to excel. We need you to be the regular season James Harden from the Rockets. You do that, or we're going to the finals, no problem.
Najee, to me, it don't appear that he played with a sense of urgency in the after the season is over. He seemed like he played throughout the season, and then when the season is over, he want to be off. He don't want to go in the postseason and win a championship because I don't see him play with that same intensity like he would play throughout the season. When the season is on, he's hot. And then when the postseason comes in, it's just like he don't care anymore. He don't give the same effort. I mean, on offense and defense.
I feel it's nerves. It gotta be nerves. I mean, you gotta change your game anyway as the players because they call the game different and the game is played differently. Because a lot of times, a lot of these games are playing under the points as a team. They're playing under the points they do in the regular season anyway. You're going to a line less longer. People get tired, and then of course, by you playing the team so much, the same team, they know exactly what plays you're going to run. They know exactly how you're going to play, and they know exactly how the game is going to be ran. So it's kind of hard to be a high-scoring team in the playoffs because everybody knows each other. But the thing is, his game doesn't change from regular season to postseason at all. It's the same as that game. So when you're playing the exact same way, you're not going to get the same results because it's not even being officiated the same way.
Well, just listening to that statement, if that holds true, it just proves that who really wanted more. I mean, if you know exactly what I'm going to run and you stop me, that means you wanted more. I mean, if I know exactly what
you don't even have a plan B.
You don't have a plan B.
You don't even have a plan B.
You're going to let this guy take your soul away from you, and that's what it is. I think, okay, don't even have to disguise my play. You know what I'm going to run. I'm still going to take you to the hoop. It's just like when somebody getting ready to do a layup. You know he's going to, drive it and finger roll it in. You know he's coming to the hoop. So, but you can't stop him. With him, he just don't have that where he gonna take your guts away. Like when Michael Jordan and Kobe and all of these elite players who got multiple championships, even when Dwayne Wade, I could throw him in there too. These guys will take your soul in these championship games. You don't get just closed out like this. You just they go play to the bitter end. They gonna leave it all on the floor. With James Harden, what he'll do is he leave it on the floor in the season, during the season, and in postseason he just going through the motions, man.
He's going through the motions, yeah.
The regular season is the regular season is his finals.
Right. Man, he don't look like he got no enthusiasm to push it past the postseason at all. He don't want a championship ring, none of that. He just want the season to be over. Unbelievable.
That's it. And it's crazy too. And the crazy thing is, you just named the type of players he's played with, but only been to the finals one time, which was against LeBron. He's only been to the finals one time. He'd have had Dwight Howard. He don't have KD a couple of times. He don't have Chris Paul. He don't have Russell Westbrook a couple of times. He right now he has Kawhi. He had Kawhi and Paul George. He's had plenty of talent to surround him to be able to get there. It makes no sense, man.
He had Joel Embiid in that cast.
And Joel Embiid also in Philadelphia.
Yeah, but
He has way too much talent for him to go nowhere.
then he becomes
And he was in both conferences too.
and then
He was in East and West.
he wound up becoming a missing piece that they need to take him, above the rim. When you got a big three, they call it a big three. When you got three elite players on a team, so he's supposed to be included in that big three, and he wound up leaving those others in the court because it's
Pieces
the
up.
Absolutely.
I was like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what's really troubling to me about James Harden is I don't think he gives a damn. I don't think he cares about the postseason. And on top of that, when it comes to big threes, you look at what the Brooklyn Nets had when he was there. They had KD, they had Kyrie,
Kyrie too.
they had him, Ben Simmons, although Ben Simmons was kind of, he was missing in action a lot, but
he was just a name on the roster.
He was just a name on a roster.
But remember, Ben Simmons went over there to Clippers with him.
Exactly. So when he got to the Clippers, you had Paul George, you had Kawhi, and then you had Russell Westbrook come through there as well. So when it comes to big threes, he's just not with it when it comes to playing up to the level that he needs to play at in the postseason. And it's a shame because when you become a professional, you're supposed to step it up, and your game is supposed to be elevated when you make it to the playoffs. There shouldn't be any decline. It should be incline, going up, not down. And that's where James Harden seemed to have problems at.
He's always had a really good supporting cast, so that's why I don't understand how he don't play to his full potential in the postseason. So it's just,
and he's one of the very few players that's never missed a postseason too, which is also wild. So that shows that he really cherished the regular season. And the crazy thing is, as much as I didn't like Dwayne Wade as he was playing, they actually have the narrative to say who's the better shooting guard, Dwayne Wade or James Harden. I even have to laugh at that. Like, you serious? Like, James Harden don't even have a freaking I mean, he does have a regular season MVP that Wade does not have, but Wade also has a Finals MVP, and that was before LeBron came to Miami, before any of them boys. So you tell me how James Harden is better than Wade? He's a better shooter. That's it. That's it. That's all he is. He's a better shooter.
He don't have the heart of Wade at all. Because Wade will shoot and put the game on the line, man. He would take that last shot. He get extra motivated.
Wade's even better defender.
Yeah, he get extra motivated in the postseason too, man. And I just don't understand.
Sure.
And it really no excuse for it, because it's one thing if he stayed on one team and he didn't produce, but he bounced around from team to team to team, and players and players and players, and all his supporting cast was great players. And for him to fit that puzzle and not take him to the championship and win, it's all on him. I mean, you can blame it nobody but him. It's his fault that he don't have a ring. That's all his fault.
I don't think he cares about a ring, to be honest with you. He cares about that money. He cares about that bag. I don't think he's chasing a ring, because it looks as though he's running away from a ring than chasing a ring. When you let Russell Westbrook outshine you in that game last night, where Russell Westbrook ended up having 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals, that's telling you Russell Westbrook cares. Russell Westbrook want to play. And he's stepping his game up in Denver to help that team get back to where they were. And I don't know what else to say other than the fact that, they're going to have to make a decision, or James Harden is going to have to make a decision. Does he still want to play basketball, especially for the Clippers? Because it just seems like he's a no-show when it comes to the postseason. And that's just not. It's just not.
They're gonna have to make a decision there, because Kawhi Leonard, we all know he gets hurt every year anyway. So they already let Paul George go. They already let some pieces go. They let Terrence Mann, what's his name? Terrence Mann I think he went to the Pacers. They already let him go. Is that the Pacers or the Hawks? But they let him go already. So now you're losing all these pieces. And James, the one thing is about James Harden, and if you're gonna say anything, he's very durable for a person that's not in best of shape. Like you said, they talk about AD and need to be in better shape so he can be healthy. James Harden, if you look at him, he looks like he permanently have a dad bod, but he plays 80 games per season. I don't know how he does that, bro. How you stay so healthy and don't be at peak shape?
Right.
That's crazy, man.
He ain't like he don't get just out of shape. Physically looking out of shape.
He just never look like he's in great shape at all. But he physically stays healthy every season. He's always healthy. I don't know how you stay durable like that. They talk about everybody, even talking about Luka. They talk about Luka and his weight, and they say he need to be in better shape because he's missed certain games. But and Joel Embiid, they say about Joel Embiid, he need to be in better shape. James Harden never in great shape, and he stays on the court every season. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, always got a little big stomach on him.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Denver just advanced to the next step, and I believe Denver played Oklahoma City. Is that correct?
That's gonna be a fun series.
That's gonna be a headbanger right there, because Denver to me is still, they got that championship pedigree in them, even though they haven't had a good year. And then Mike Malone ended up getting let go, and they've been through some turbulence and turmoil up until this point, but they're still playing
hard. You have to be top tier in the season to go to the finals. You have to be the top tier. There's been some teams that's been to the bottom feeding teams, and they end up going to the finals now. Even though you want to put the Heat out there, the Heat was in 8th spot when they played the Nuggets, and they made it to the finals. So I mean, you still have a chance though. So they was like 4th or 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So they're not far fetched, because even with that, even from 4 to 8, they was only decided within 3 games between 4 and 8 spots. So I mean, it's not like they're so far off. They can do it. They can do what they can do it. We can see if OKC can be just as united as them, because I feel like OKC can shoot them out, but I don't know if they can beat them with intelligence, the IQ. I don't know if they can statistically beat them that way. If they can beat them that way, then they can win the whole thing if they don't have to play Boston. But other than that, I really like their chance though.
Absolutely. So we'll move on to this next topic, and basketball is a lot different than football. But when, like you say about the point guard, when the point guard is the quarterback of the team. I mean, in basketball, in my opinion, he takes the quarterback's responsibility to bring the ball up the court, to distribute the ball where it needs to go. And if he doesn't distribute it, he needs to be able to have that ability to be able to score, whether it's driving into the basket, whether it's taking jump shots, or whatever the case may be. So I would just, say that, to have a point guard and they're not measuring up is kind of like a weakness. That's a weak spot for your team, as far as I see, when it comes to any kind of basketball, but especially professional basketball.